Here's a quick tutorial on how to do the repair for the stripped insert for the Aeron Classic. So I came upon this problem obviously because my Aeron seat became stripped, overloaded the seat, and it stripped out the insert that was originally inserted into this side seat pan here. So this is a problem for anybody, for anyone who has an Aeron Classic, regardless of the size, A, B, or C. And this is specifically an issue that I've seen with the seat pans. From what I understand, usually, if this happens to you, there's nothing you can do. The only repair is to get a new seat pan, which in this case costs quite a lot of money from Herman Miller. So here, hopefully, we can solve that problem for less than $10. So what exactly is the issue? So just to describe the problem. So on either side of the seat pans, you have this area which is threaded into the sides of the base of the seat through a swivel nut, and then a bolt that runs through the swivel nut and into this metal insert that goes into the seat pan. Essentially one on either side, and both of these, along with two legs on the back, stabilize the seat. But these two are the main sort of load-bearing elements of the seat pan. So over time, this metal insert, which is seated in here and which attaches to the bolt that runs through this swivel joint, will slowly work its way out. And on its way out, it'll sort of pull and scrape clean the threads on the inside of the plastic seat pan. And what happens eventually is that this insert can no longer stay inside the plastic seat pan. And as a result, the seat will no longer be attached to the base using the long bolt. And you can see here I have several images of this being the case. You can see that this original threaded insert goes into this space, but as you can see over time, it's kind of scraped clean the inside of this hole. What can you do ahead of time? Well, Herman Miller actually has a fantastic warranty. And if you're somebody with an Aeron Classic, your chair could still be under warranty depending on where you bought it and whether the warranty that was purchased covers for that extended period of time. Again, it's difficult to tell. So what the first thing you should actually do is to check if your Herman Miller is under warranty and if it can be serviced while it's under warranty. So what you could do is message Herman Miller, or if you know, you can also contact a known local authorized repair service and you can submit a request for them with them. So what I first did was do that. And what they really need is to be able to see the barcodes underneath your seat. And this barcode comes in any of these flavors, apparently. Again, my seat had no barcode, so I couldn't do this. But if your seat has a barcode, you can verify with the authorized service to see if it's covered under warranty. Because if it is, what they will do is fix the problem for you, and then you wouldn't even have to attempt this. So definitely go try that first and foremost. Now, after that first part, if, for example, you do not have a warranty, well, what are your options? Well, the main option that they give you, and that I understand from reading forums and other people who have had this issue, is really all you can do is purchase a new seat pan. The seat pan will obviously come already installed with these aluminum or metal inserts. I'm not too sure what the material of this is, so you wouldn't really have to worry about it. The seat pan also seems to come with the mesh, and when I went through the option of going for out of warranty and going to purchase the parts, they also quoted me a set of the swivel bolts, so one on either side. So that will all come together. You can also be quoted for repair as well as delivery to your home and repair on site at your home. For me, what that ended up coming up to was about $400 Canadian if I decided to go that route. Without the install, I think it was $400, but with the install, it was a little more. So if you want to do the correct repair, which is to replace the seat pan, that's what you're looking at in terms of price. Well, my repair requires that we find an insert similar to the original one, but different in a few important ways. So this repair is on the principle that if you look at your seat pan, the depth of the actual hole is much more than the actual depth of the insert. So the insert, if you took a little guesstimate and just looked at it, the insert only goes in about halfway. And there's about half of the hole still remaining inside that doesn't have, that this thread had not touched, that the insert had not touched. Also, the threading on the original insert is gradual, if you can see in this image, and in these other more focused images, you can see that the insert threading gets more aggressive gradually as you go up. So that's also a plus for us. It means that as you go deeper into the hole, there's actually much more material that is less likely to have been severely stripped. Again, added to the depth, if you can get a thread deep enough, then it should be able to hold. And in my case, again, and in your case, likely you'll see that the most severely stripped is near the outside. And so what you would like to do is find an insert that goes deeper. And again, if you look at the actual bolt itself that threads into the insert, it's actually much longer than, it can go much deeper into this hole. So what does the insert actually look like for this repair? Well, if you can see in these images over here that I pulled up, the insert I ultimately purchased was this one here on the right. The insert here is actually, unlike the original one, is actually, the original use is for in metal. So this was actually supposed to go into metal. Another difference, and you can probably see from the measurements, which are going to be important, is that the external thread for these new inserts is 12, whereas in the original ones, they were closer to 11, maybe 12, but these are slightly more tight threads on the outside. But the most important distinction in threads in the inserts that you'll have to source is the fact that there is no outer lip on this one, which means it can go all the way deep into the hole, versus the original one, which had to sit superficially. In fact, you can see this plastic sort of wearing out from the amount of times that this has scraped along the corners. So again, this is what you're looking for. A thread maybe with more, an insert with probably more thread than the original, one that is about the same length, one that has similar thread density on the outside, and one that has no lip. So in this case, these are the measurements for this particular insert with a 3/8 inch and 16 internal thread, and 9/16 inch 12 external thread, and it's about 0.515 inches in length. So if you can find something like this, they can cost very cheaply, then you're good to go. From there, what you would like to do is you'll need a rather wide flathead screwdriver, as you would to insert any insert, and you would need to pop it in. Again, good thing is, because these were gradual threads, when you start threading this into this hole, it'll actually start going in based on the threads that currently already exist in there. So you don't even have to really worry about that. But as you screw it in more and more, you'll feel the resistance, and it'll get harder and harder. And what you would like to do is get it in enough where you can gauge that it's deep enough, but it won't easily come out. And that takes a bit of strength, and that will take a little bit of time. But once you do, you'll feel that this thing is firmly seated inside. Repair has lasted pretty good. It's been several months. I've been being aggressive with the chair. I've been going up and down using all its features. Had a second person sit on the chair with me at the same time, and it has held to the degree that I would like it to. And although in my mind I thought this was a temporary repair, it seems to have lasted very well and has taken the necessary abuses that every day can provide to it. And so again, I think this repair fits the bill. These threads are very cheap if you can source them individually. I unfortunately had to buy a whole pack of them at the same time. But all this really means is that I do have some extras remaining. If you would like some, I could sell them. So you can send me a DM or shoot me a message, and I can provide you with the exact ones that I've used. I can also provide you the dimensions if you would like to source them individually. Again, very cheap on their own if you can buy them on their own. If you have a great fastener supplier near you, then it's perfect. One thing I would say is, again, you would need to contact a specialized fastener supplier. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but if you find a specialized supplier, they will likely have access to be able to get you these for a good price. Again, anything will be less than the possibly $400 to $500 repair that buying a new seat pan will net you. So anyways, I am hoping that this will be helpful, and best of luck to the repairs.